build is usually seen with a lot of these items together. So these small things will add up.
For sure, definitely. All right, let's make our way and talk about some warrior items here, guys. First up is Gladiator Shield, and this one it's almost to the point of a small rework here, which is pretty exciting. So I'll go ahead and read off the stats, and then we can talk about it. First of all, we're going to be decreasing the cost from 2,500 to 2,400, and then we're changing the passive to make it to where damage dealt is 15 plus 2 per level to 15 plus 35% of your total protections from items, magical and physical, and abilities. And we're also increasing the bonus damage on the activation threshold from 50% to 60%.
Yeah, this item was really interesting because we reworked it to be a bit more aggressive, remove it from its more sustain-oriented previous iteration, but it just wasn't quite doing enough, and it scaled at weird paces, and there was no way you could really build into it. So now we're going to allow players who want to build like very bruiser, very tanky, to get extra damage late game when they build this.
Actually pretty crazy now.
Or if their kit has some protections built in, where they can actually like use a stim. And
they just make Glad Shield a pretty like
brutalize on someone.
It's gonna be an annoying item, but at least it makes sense.
So lots of cool stuff here, lots more interesting things to work with, different places it can fit into builds. Hopefully we'll see more use of it.
Cool. All right, next up we've got Emperor's Armor, and guys, I think Emperor's Armor is pretty good.
So Tally, thank you for sending me that link, by the way.
In play here, so we're gonna do a small buff here, increasing the physical protections from.
I did. We're getting viewer points. I'm so excited!
We think Emperor's Armor is a pretty good item. We're always looking at the support items to see which ones we can tweak to give a little bit more love to. Emperor's Armor is one that we still really enjoy, and we think it can have its place, especially, obviously in Conquest. But with a little bit more protections, we think
nice, Night Ninja. Good shit.
And that's all it is.
Cool. Isaiah's pro tip: Emperor's Armor first item in Assault is OP. Definitely start doing that.
Hell
yeah. All right, next up, we've got Hide of the Nemean Lion. Going to be seeing a nerf here.
Another
increasing
nerf?
the protections required per block stack from 100 to 120.
Yeah, so we changed it to now actually take care of your protections to give you block stacks to address squishy characters like assassins building it as a one-off to get some block stacks. That worked, but it is still too effective. Certain characters and item combinations
now you can't get 3, right?
Multiple block stacks very quickly. So we're just increasing the threshold a little bit so we can delay some of the stacks that you're getting. It's still going to be quite a potent item, but now it won't just be on so quickly into the game.
Cool. All right. Well, that wraps it up for 7.10 item balance. Let's start talking about gods, guys. We got a couple buffs here that are pretty exciting on her. Up first, we're making a change to Disperse. We're going to be decreasing the setup time on the ability and decreasing the leaf time. And I'll let Pon take this one.
What?
Yep. So we use the term setup time and leap time. Setup time is the time from when you hit the button to when on her builds up his
Honor's about to be gross.
Before he actually takes off, and then leap time is the actual travel time. So he's going to be taking off quicker, and he's going to be traveling to his location quicker. This is one thing that we've seen with on her players where they feel like the leap is very telegraphed,
Thank you so much,
very
Rhino.
delayed. It's often difficult to get off in sticky situations. So we just want to make it a little bit easier, and that'll actually go
I just got back from signing all the paperwork. It'll be ratified later. And if everything goes well, we bought a new house.
Change
but
to the moves,
who knows? You know, who the fuck knows, dude? Thank you for the fat dono, seriously. You're a fucking god.
Yep, similar to on her, the moves had a build-up time, so when you hit the button, he would wait for a little bit and then dash. That's quicker, and the actual dash itself is quicker.
Just to make these
hunters more responsive.
Alexander, thank you for the sub.
We think they have a lot of room to be very viable right now, but these were kind of holding them back and making them difficult to use, especially at the high level. So these changes should help them out a lot.
Cool. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some on her.
This jump and dash change is so annoying. They're gonna be good now, or their leaps are gonna be good. Their movement.
Spicy one. Bolster Defenses is now going to provide HP 5 to himself and allies in the aura, starting at 10, scaling all the way up to 30. And I'll let Clumsy take this one.
Yes, I mean, we've done a lot of things to help give Ares some love, especially in Conquest, right? It's because we wanted to get these buffs catered towards Conquest, because we know in
I don't know how HP 5 is gonna
strong, so we want to make these buffs
like early game.
Towards the Conquest
it'll have way more of an
effect
than
buff,
late.
We had the ulti buff, and now we have Bolster Defenses, one of the abilities that the community has always seemed is a little bit weaker. So the HP 5 we think will be a nice little touch here. It shouldn't affect the other game modes as much, and honestly, it's not too big of a bolster as well. So it's a small amount of HP 5 for himself and his allies, and it should help him out in sieges and defenses.
Cool. All right. We'll keep it right on the Guardian train from Ares to Artio. We're going to be making a buff to Energy Surge, increasing the Energy Surge heal from 40 to 120, going up to 60 to 140 per enemy god hit. And this is actually a revert.
Yep. So RTO had a history of when she was launched, she was very strong. We did a whole bunch of adjustments, and she's kind of like gone back and forth since then. This is just a change where she has to be aggressive and very forward to get this heal off. So we want it to be more rewarding than it currently is, and we think that RTO is in a situation where she can actually have this type of buff, and it's healthy for the game.
Cool. All right, let's talk about mages now. Baron Samdi, we're going to be making a buff to Vivid Gaze, increasing the magical power scaling by 10%.
Yeah, in a similar vein with
Adventure, it just depends on how the game's going.
He had a lot of love before, and now after the set of nerfs, we're slowly bringing back the abilities that might make him survive a little bit better, especially in the mid lane for Conquest specifically. Vivid Gaze. Now, once you have a little bit more scaling, he'll translate that better early game that we've given him previously with the Vivid Gaze buff to a better late game.
Yep, focusing more on the mage style of his play.
Yep,
for sure. All right, Fenrir is up next.
Thank you, Footlover.
He's going to be seeing a buff. First up, Unchained, going to be increasing the base damage on the ability.
What?
And then Ragnarok, we're going to be increasing the movement speed buff that he gets from 50% to 75%. Pretty significant.
Yeah, I believe this Unchanged is actually a partial revert from a change when he was kind of like running the support role with that high base
so
damage.
much more
Partial
clear
revert
early
to help with clear and aggressive ganks, as well as Ragnarok, the extra movement speed to really chase down targets and potentially dive further in the backline than he would otherwise. It might look like a big buff because 25% is just it's 1.5 times what it was before, but movement has scaling DR at that point.
That's
so it's
a
not
lot of
really
movement speed, bro.
Increase.
What?
It's closer to like a 10% movement increase or movement speed increase based
That's
off
a
like how
lot
the
of
map works
movement
out.
speed.
Hello, nobody.
All right, next up, we've got Hachiman making a change to Eagle Eye. So long story short, TLDR, the ability is now going to deal the same amount of damage no matter how close or far
I did
away
see viewer points are coming to streamers. I'm fucking excited.
Yeah, I mean,
to have
y'all
number
listen to
one
Hachiman.
stream
That
back.
Eagle Eye specifically.
Rhino had my
was very careful
babies.
about because we had this difference between when you can hit people at close range and far range. We wanted to make sure that never felt too oppressive. But after the years of
Fucking
playing
love you,
Hachiman, we've
dude.
come to the
Thank you for all the
conclusion that it's
support
probably
lately
okay for this
and
just to deal
forever,
extra bonus
dude.
damage all
Appreciate
the
it,
time,
man.
in kind of the same way. We don't think this is going to be too much.
I
of a
need
problem,
sellouts, baby.
And, let's give it a
I
shot.
need this. I need it.
Sure. All right, next up on the list, we've got Osiris, going to be making a change to Sigil Strike, increasing the physical power scaling, and then Lord of the Afterlife, we're going to be actually increasing the max range of the ultimate ability by 10 units, from 55 up to 65.
What? That's so far.
Yeah, Osiris has traditionally run the
Holy shit! You're gonna be able to go down the whole lane now on
A lot of
Osiris.
changes in season 7, how metas have shaken out. He
What up,
just kind of
Scottrick?
always stayed on the more back burner, not really like super competitive viable. So we're just increasing the power of Sickle Strike, giving it a little bit extra scaling so it can be more threatening late game, and then Lord of the Afterlife, giving him extra diving potential, more flexibility on the range and how far he wants to go into the enemy team.
Bro, I'm about to be
Or escape
fucking
if he needs
Osiris
to.
full movement speed jungle build, and I'm just gonna launch down the
All right, we
fucking
are
lane. You're
nearing
never
the
getting
end of
away from
God
me.
Balance, guys. Next up, we've got Circuit, getting a buff here. We're making a change to Ambush, increasing the physical power scaling from 50% to 70%, and then Cobra's Kiss, we're going to be decreasing the cooldown from 18 seconds to 16
Okay.
seconds. Pawn, do you want to take point on this
The
one? 'Cause I
3
know you did
change.
some work on it.
Doo-doo.
Yeah, sure. So
the 2
Circuit
change though. This
has
one's
a
solid.
very long, complicated history. TLDR, as a jungler, she's always been kind of pretty okay. As a support, when she is in the support role, she can be very, very, very threatening and kind of run the game. We did a lot of nerfs and adjustments to her.
No,
and the jungle's
This
changed
is
a lot
not
since a lot of those
making
situations.
Circuit really good.
We want
It's
to
just a
bring
good
back some
change.
strength now that we feel like she's fallen off.
She's not
in both
good.
support
The
and
change
jungle.
is in the right direction.
And we want to focus those changes on being more aggressive and rewarding more aggressive play. So Ambush getting scaling increase will make it.
I
so
did
you're
see
incentivized to
that
leap in
streamers are going to
aggressively,
give viewer points.
with high power.
I'm excited.
builds.
I hope I get it
And
first.
Cobra's
If I
Kiss, the
don't,
lower cooldown
I'm
will
gonna
just
cry.
give more flexibility
on
on when
stream.
you gank and when you can control in team fights outside of just bursting down your single target.
All right, last up for God Balance, we've got Vamana, going to be seeing a buff to Colossal Fury. We're going to be decreasing the movements penalty for attacking, backpedaling, and strafing by 20% while the ability is active.
Yeah, so we played a lot with Vamana's ulti and, giving that Atlanta-style effect towards hitting enemies with Colossal Fury. And we've buffed it, we've nerfed it, we wanted to find a middle ground where we thought, it might not be it's not too oppressive for the enemies, but it still helps Vamana. We wanted to add this new rule in, which is this Hastalis, like effect, because every time you're hitting someone with Vamana with that ulti, you're still slowing yourself down. Now you're doing that a little bit less, and maybe you won't actually need to buy Hasten Fatalis or maybe Frostbound, one or the other.
Cool.
More
That
brave.
wraps it up for all the balance coming in 7-10 and got some pretty exciting changes. Got some.
I told you
some cool
guys
hunter
it would be
changes,
a bunch
couple
of
cool
teeny
assassin
buffs.
changes and guardian changes.
Said that
as
last
well.
night.
So I'm definitely looking forward to how things shake up when the update goes
Bunch
live
of teeny
on
buffs.
October 6th. So let's go ahead and start talking about some of the awesome skins and content that we got coming your way.
You told
in
him
the
not.
Trickster God
Dude, I'll pay
update.
for it.
And
Fuck it.
like I kind of hinted at earlier,
How much?
we're near.
How much do I need to slide you under the table,
tricks
dude?
And treats. So of course we got
I
to
got
start
cash.
talking about the Halloween chest, right, guys?
How much
So
I got
the
here,
first
dude?
skin that we've got up is Vampirous Amaterasu.
I had a couple 20s.
And this is kind of the first really darker take at Ama. And she is
Another
looking really
Ama
creepy.
skin.
What do you think, Clumsy?
Yeah, it's definitely looking really creepy. I mean, the vampiric aspects, the blood dripping down the chin, definitely giving me some Halloween creepy
Set up
vibes.
auto pay. Set up
For
auto
sure.
delivery
Sword.
through Amazon.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
you're right.
We'll probably be able to see the sword a little bit
And,
better as we go
what's in
in
that glass,
and
you
see
know?
that turnaround in game. There we go. I love the treatment on the sword, how it's kind of
Ooh.
black and then gets a little bit more grayish, and the broken mirror is a nice
The broken
touch,
mirror is a very nice touch. I was just thinking that.
Oh, that's
for
awesome.
sure. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Vampirous Amaterasu.
Her feet are so
dare
pointy.
to challenge an immortal daughter of darkness.
I do not dare challenge you, Vampirous Amaterasu. Oh, that one was
That's a good
super
idea,
awesome.
Wraith.
We've got one kind of dark and creepy skin for Halloween, but we've got another one that kind of celebrates the dressing upness and the fun aspect of the holiday. Next up, we've got Pumpkin Spice Discordia. And she is
What?
looking super awesome. She's got her witch outfit ready, got a kitty and
Got
a
her
pumpkin.
kitty cat.
If she's not walking around with a pumpkin
So
spice
good.
latte,
Yeah.
this
I'm really
isn't real.
excited
This
about
doesn't
this
count.
one. I gotta write the voice back, and I may have like named the little kitty cat after my little kitty cat. So we've got Lillykins.
Aw.
Nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the turnaround in game. And Clumsy, I'm sure you had a ton of fun writing the voice pack here. So let's go
Where's
ahead and
the
take a listen
latte?
to the voice pack for Pumpkin Spice Discordia.
Despite the outfit, I am a real witch. So you better have some candy for me.
Is
For
her
sure.
old the cat? She's holding the cat like the apple, so is her old
Yeah,
the
it's
cat?
the little
You
kitty
know it
pumpkin.
is.
Oh my goodness,
very
that's
good.
amazing. Well, that is coming your way in the Halloween chest, guys.
What up,
when the
Chase? Thank you for the
7.10
resub, man.
update goes live. But let's go ahead and kind of switch gears and start talking about the Odyssey Reckoning. We've got a few more awesome skins that are be coming in this update, and we'll kick it off with Gummy Worm Medusa. And I know Titan Cupcake, I can hear her screaming now. She loves
Ooh.
all the candy themed skins, and I'm definitely
Oh my
loving the
gosh.
treatment here. What do you think, Pawn?
Dude, rip all those people in the background. They're
They're
all
Oh,
gummy
I
statues.
didn't even know. Oh, she just turned them into hard
Unfortunate.
candy. Yeah, that's super unfortunate. Let's go ahead and take a look at the turnaround in game because I'm super curious on how it's looking. Of
Wow.
course, the bright colors.
All right, they
looking
actually did a good
really,
job
really
on
clean.
the
The
snakes.
candy bracelet on the tail, that's so cool. There's so many cool touches
Oh.
here.
They did a really good job
I
on this
know,
skin,
right?
honestly.
Let's go ahead and take a
The
listen to the
base
voice
color
acting
of her
skin.
could have been
There
better,
are
but it's not bad.
so many sweets to pick from. Oh, how will I choose?
So it looks like
That's
she's
gonna be an annoying voice
definitely,
pack.
she
Hold
turns
on,
people into
Bodo,
the candy
Bodo,
so she can eat
Bodo,
them later.
Bodo?
That's how
Exactly.
they
Yeah,
make
that's,
it.
no, that's like
Whoa, whoa,
using
whoa,
that
my bad,
together
boys,
as
my
well,
bad,
so wait a
boys, my bad,
second,
boys.
that's kind of-
I'm trying to
that's
look at that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Trying to pull up that. There we go. I can't see
Cool.
her as
All right, Next
resubs.
up in the Odyssey
There we go.
Reckoning, one that I'm super excited about, Sniper Tech Raw. You guys know me. You know I love
Raw
all the
gets
mech
above.
skins,
Time for
and
a
this
Raw
one
skin.
is
This is
super
probably gonna be one of the better
awesome. And
skins.
I was told we have to go in game and show this one off because the ultimate is apparently super
See?
crazy. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Hi-Rez
at the
knows what they're
turnaround
doing, boys
before
and
we
girls.
Get things ready. Pon's gonna drive in game and show things off, but I'm definitely loving the stance.
He
and the
looks
armor
beefy,
treatments here.
dude.
Looking really good.
That's
Let's go
the
ahead and
same
take a
tech
listen
that's in
to
the Baka
voice
skin,
pack
right?
Before we go in game.
The Baka has a similar, like,
wanna
smaller
see a
version of
big
the
gun?
back.
Oh, I'll show you a big gun.
All right, let's do it.
I want to see it. I mean, I guess do the other abilities, but I also want to see it.
Yeah. Oh, nice. One looking clean. Not too much going on. Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
I like the build up. You can see the build up on like the blind effects with that ability, which is
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah, that's sick.
I love
It
how he
makes
just
it feel like
hits
you're not
Sam and
winding
just,
up
like,
as
a
long.
gun just appears on his shoulder for a
Bruh.
supercharged shot.
That's a really good
blessing
ult.
us with the
They did a
slip.
good job for something simple.
Oh my
Ooh, yeah,
goodness,
that's
that is so
cool.
clean. Oh, that's
I had to take a phone
awesome.
call real quick, boys.
Well, this one is going to be available in the Odyssey Reckoning update. So if you guys want the big gun that Sniper Tech Raw is shooting,
I want
be
that
sure
big gun.
to start participating in the event here. And then we've got the reward skin coming up in 710 for the Odyssey Reckoning, and it is Primal Spirit Kernanos. And this one is kind of in the theme of some of our other Spirit, Force Spirit skins. This one I'm
Ooh.
definitely loving the symbols and like all the treatment. I love this card art too. with all the animal spirits kind of, in the background.
Oh my gosh, I love all the animals.
Yeah, I
For
love this
sure.
line of skins, and they made this one seem like really, really different, which is really cool.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the turnaround here, because I'm super excited to see what it looks like in game. Yep, for sure. This is an insta equip for me. Loving the aesthetic here.
Seeing the material in game, like it makes it seem so much cooler.
I know, right? Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Primal Spirit Kernanos.
Why did you come here with such intent? There are less painful ways to die.
There we go. So he is the protector of the forest. Seems like he's probably not out to kill you, but like if you run up to him and treat him the wrong way, he's definitely up to protect his homies. For sure. Well, that wraps it up, guys, for everything coming your way, content and skin-wise, in the 7.10 update. We know that you guys have been waiting for the Loki rework. We are ready to start going over it, and we will be right back to cover the Trickster God right after this break.
Alright, so you know how sometimes it's just a prank, bro? Well, that's where Loki comes in, the trickster god. You see, some people might call someone who breaks the rules and takes what he wants regardless of who gets hurt a villain, but Loki prefers the term opportunist. And sure, it was foretold that Loki would play a part in the coming of Ragnarok, which would leave the gods slain, the heavens sundered, and the world in ashes, but he's not a bad guy, he's just misunderstood. Loki's such a prankster he could start a YouTube channel. Just ask Balder, the god of light. You see, Balder had a prophetic dream of his own death, so his mama went and made all objects in the world swear to never harm him. Only one object did not swear: mistletoe. Learning this, Loki went and forged a spear from the plant and gave it to Balder's brother. Now, the god's new favorite pastime had become throwing objects at Balder and watching them bounce harmlessly off. You see where this is going? Balder's brother threw the spear, and oops, Balder was impaled. So he died, and Loki was imprisoned. He was bound in entrails, and a big old serpent was put above him, where it dripped venom onto his face, causing him to shake the world with his anguish. So, #worth?
Well, that is the Trickster God for you. Just a little bit of a sneak peek into his lore. Shout out to Nevercake for the amazing video. It is time to start getting into the nitty-gritty of what's changing with the Trickster God and his rework. So I kind of wanted to kick things off and kind of throw to you guys, Pod and Clumsy, just to talk briefly to me about Loki, his history, not only in game, but amongst the community as well.
Yeah, do you want to start, Clumsy?
Yeah, I mean, sure. This is a long one. We've done loads of different posts about it. I mean, we have the massive document talking about whether we want to do the Loki rework or not. I mean, Loki is definitely a super controversial god. He's one of the ones that there's a lot of people who have a massive fan base towards Loki, and there's a lot of people who just don't ever want to see him in one of your games. And I mean, I'm not going to disagree and say that like I'm not one of those people who likes to see Loki just backdooring and doing all those frustrating things and one-shotting me because I'm a mage player and I'm god, get away from me. But I mean, so we took this chance and we wanted to get Loki. We wanted to still give him the feeling of Loki. He still behaves the same way he does. And we all wanted to make the mains happy. We wanted to make the people who play against Loki happy. And I think we've come together to compromise on the different abilities that we're going to see today. And we should, hopefully, everyone will be in some way happy.
Yeah, he is the stereotypical assassin. He's the person who stealth sneaks up behind you, surprises you. And that's one thing I think people who really like Loki love, but also people who despise Loki hate, is that surprise aspect, that burst, the feeling of counterplay. He breaks kind of some of the rules that we have around like minion aggro and tower aggro. So the goal with this rework was to really try and keep that core feeling of him being this kind of surprise burst assassin who can jump and isolate a single target, but remove some of the frustration aspects, give people more counterplay opportunities, and give him a bit more teamfight presence so he isn't just the single target burst assassin. He has more tools available to him now, but they're not really impeding on necessarily other gods' niches. Just a little bit better than what he currently has. And I think we've come to a really cool compromise. People internally who've been playing him in these playtests have been loving him, saying they really like playing Loki now. So hopefully we've made everyone happy. We'll see, though.
All right. Well, I'm ready. I know chat's ready. Are you guys ready? Let's go ahead and go in game and kick this rework reveal off. And Pon is our gracious driver today. And we'll go ahead and start off with general, and I'll kind of just touch on, we're just increasing the basic attack damage on the initial hit from 80% to 100%. Pon, I'll let you kind of take the reins here and talk to us about this change.
Yep. So one thing that we did really early on during like trying to balance Loki was we actually removed the burst from the first basic attack. That was because he could in-hand cancel, and that burst was just really, really high. So we took away a lot of the power of the in-hand cancel. But because this kit has different functionality now, we feel like he doesn't need that arbitrary penalty on him anymore. And he was really the only character in the game that had that kind of arbitrary penalty.
For sure. Cool. So as we start talking about the passive, I think the best way to kind of go about this is just talk about some of the new abilities and how the passive intertwines with those new abilities. So first off, before we hop into those, let's talk about Vanish just a little bit. Of course, this was all explained kind of in the blog post that we put out earlier in the year. But Loki, of course, will now fade into stealth. But now, if Loki takes damage while he is stealth, he's now going to be revealed for a short time.
So you can see right here, I hit the Loki.
There we go.
If he stealths, he will actually go, you'll see him for a little bit, and if you hit him with any sorts of damage, he'll be a little bit revealed. Good players are familiar with tracking the damage numbers. This little bit of extra visibility will help players learn that mechanic without giving too much away for the Loki player.
For sure. So just a short amount of time, if he takes damage while he is in stealth, he's got the little shadowy aura that appears in place of his actual model. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about Decoy into Agonizing Vision. So Decoy, no longer going to be the ability. It is being made into a new ability called Agonizing Vision. And Pawn, what's going on with this one?
Yep, so Agonizing Vision is now, rather than a dot that aggro or a deployable that aggroes minions and then does an explosion, it does damage over time to anyone standing in it and reducing the damage they deal when they're poisoned. Additionally, if they stay too long in it, they become blinded, and you can actually benefit from behind you with any direction. So you can see I'm actually getting the behind you bonus damage even in front of this Odin after he's been blinded. And just so you can kind of see the blind, we'll have the Loki over here graciously cast it. It definitely obscures your vision, but you can still see things. So you can still make saves, but you might miss things in the chaos of a fight.
For sure. It's like he is sharing the poison that he has been, you know, it's been dripping on his face. Now it's your turn to have a little bit of what he's been going through.
And one awesome note here as well.
Oh, go ahead, Quincy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say one awesome note as well is that, you know, all the skins have been updated with all these different things, and seeing the different effects and different post-process effects is a really cool job done by the effects team.
For sure, I didn't even think about that.
This one is really strong.
For all those.
I like the idea that we were able to bring in lore ties, which traditionally Loki's base kit actually didn't really have super strong lore ties what he does in lore, but this lets you kind of see what he went through and underwent, and just the vision of seeing it, you feel that pain, so it's like shared pain. You understand more where Loki's coming from.
Definitely.
You can empathize a little bit with the Loki player, is what you're saying.
Yep.
For sure. All right, let's talk about Aimed Strike, now Flurry Strike. Loki is now going to unleash a flurry of daggers, 5 strikes really quickly. Pawn, if you want to show off the ability and if you guys want to go into what's going on.
Yep,
nice.
So Aim Strike specifically, when one of the problems that Loki had previously was he could stealth onto someone, auto attack, and then use Aim Strike to get that immediate reset to do another burst of damage. And that burst window was very hard to deal with. It was very hard to understand what was even happening to you. So now it's more of a longer duration channel clear ability that does damage if you can stay on the target longer. So it's 5 rapid strikes into a final big wind-up strike that slows and does more damage. And you can also see a cool interaction is from the front, I do normal damage. And from the back, I do behind you damage. So this ability not only synergizes with the passive now and is better clear for jungle or wave clear, but it also, if you do something like this where you blind someone, you can get the behind you proc from the front. So there's a lot more kit synergy inside the base kit itself.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. There's, like we're saying, there's this kit synergy with these new abilities. It's also removing the frustrations, right? It's again the stuff with the blog post. So now the new 2, it's not there to taunt enemies. It's there for a completely different aspect. The new 3, it's not this instant strike of damage. It's spread out over time, giving enemies the ability to actually Aegis it. You know, we're just trying to slowly remove those things that made it frustrating to play against Loki, but giving him new things to help him out with instead.
For sure. And I mean, it's not to say that, you know, the new Flurry Strike doesn't deal a whole lot of damage, especially if you got the behind you procs.
If you get the full channel off, especially from behind
Alright,
you,
what the
it
fuck
does,
did I miss,
it
stream?
does some damage. So
What the fuck
try
did
and
I
interrupt
miss?
Loki, try and get away. Use your Aegis to avoid the final hit, especially if you can.
Loki's still very lethal, that's for sure.
For sure.
I missed
speaking of being
everything?
Lethal,
I'll
let's
skip
go ahead and
back
talk
through
about
this. We'll rewatch
Assassinate,
this and
the
break it
ultimate
down.
ability.
I have to.
So Assassinate, it's gonna pretty big adjustments here. It's now a kind of like two-part ability with a teleport and into a secondary hit that now does an
It is a
AoE
teleport.
stun. And I'll let Juan take it away and show it off, and we'll talk
no
about it.
way. Oh, that's the. Is that
So
the
you can
ultimate?
see he does the very similar things that he did before, where he actually
What the
teleports onto a
fuck is
target.
that?
You can aim it, you can teleport anywhere you want to, and when you lock on the target, you do an initial bit of damage.
You do an
This initial bit of
AoE.
damage rather than stunning as you previously did.
What?
Now cripple, so the
Hello?
target can't leap away immediately. But the most of the damage and the harder CC is actually on the follow-up hit. So you can see him do the kind of like wind-up cone into the big
Oh,
strike.
I'm gonna watch it back.
These are the things that like
We'll finish
that
this
you
first, and
wanna
then I'll
try
watch it
and
back.
avoid or Aegis or try and beats to get out.
Why
of.
is that AoE?
One
And it's the
useful
harder
thing
hitting
that
part.
brings is this is actually a pretty big stun area. So you can see there, I jumped on this Odin. Maybe I want to stun this target. I can freely aim that.
It makes
I
him
jump
more
on
of a
this
team
Odin,
fight god. I didn't see the rest of the
use two.
kit yet.
Or
But that
if I
alone,
entirely miss,
you
I
can
jump
burst
to
two
where I need
people.
to be in a team fight position and aim it to try and hit as many targets as I can. So
It's
this ultimate not only
AoE,
has
so
that
you can actually
counterplay
team
for
fight.
people
That's
who are
what. That's why
playing
it's
against
AoE.
it, But Loki gets a lot of extra
You
utility.
can't be
out of
like,
this.
oh,
He can team fight. If
I can
people are
only
pumped
kill
up
one
in really
person
good
now,
ways.
bitch.
He can
You can kill
force
two
people to
now.
move together with this poison field, so they avoid being blinded, and then teleport to get a whole bunch of stuns off.
Ooh,
So
the two is
again, sticking with the
sick.
theme, extra control for Loki.
Okay, the
extra
2 is
telegraph
sick
for enemies
now.
to
It's
play
not
around,
shit.
new utility that he brings, so it's not just a,
Bro, he-
a perceived
Just
nerf
off
or
of
the
those
feeling
two
of
things I
things going
see,
out a bit slower.
he's a jungler
He
again.
gets extra tools to make up for that feel more fair to play around.
For sure. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like he's got just some more.
Fuck you,
or
Schwaz.
different
Sub to
engage
nothing, bitch.
opportunities off of his ultimate now,
Tier
which is
3
really
sub to
cool.
me. I'll think about it. Also, thank you for the 32 months. I love you.
Upon showing off the kit just a little bit more.
Ooh.
So as you're doing
So that's
that,
the
guys,
3 is the multi
now
hits.
that we've gone through kind of most of the
Wait.
rework and what's going on, where do you guys see Loki now post the 7.10 update? Where do you think his playstyle is going to be, and what do you guys recommend?
So we've messed around a lot because we know that the place that he currently plays right now is kind of like this weird solo or supporty build because his jungle clear isn't quite good enough, and he uses like his split pushing. We've played him around in the solo lane, we played him in the support role, we played him in the jungle, and with this extra clear from Flurry Strike being a pretty effective clear tool, the 2 also being an effective clear tool because now it's not
So
a pet.
are those
It
auto
actually
attacks?
benefits from things like
Or is
Assassin's
it
Blessing.
all ability?
His wave clear is a little bit more consistent. You can kind of brawl with people and not just rely on Decoy. But I do think he's going to fall mostly to the jungle role.
Cool. What about you, Clumsy?
They're not autos.
I feel similarly. We've
Clipper,
given him
thank
tries
you.
to play test both in the jungle role and solo. I think
Well,
one of
how
our
many
primary
hits
goals
is that?
definitely to make sure that he can thrive
What
in the
the
jungle,
fuck?
and I would say
Is
that
it like
that
5
would be
hits?
the best place for players to give him a try in.
So his
Just
1's
like
the
Juan said,
same.
The abilities 3 and
His
2
3 is now
play
a
the jungle
flurry of
pretty
auto
effectively,
attacks.
where previously,
His
each
2
one
is now
had
a decoy that
purpose.
pulses
And
damage.
his gank potential is still
And his
extremely
ult
high.
is
It
an-
may not be as much
no,
as
same
it
ult,
first,
but the AoEs
over time,
after.
It's probably actually doing even more damage. And then he can carry that over to the late game. That's the most important thing. You don't feel as singularly, closed down when you've used all your abilities.
What?
and
You
that
can't
one
see your
left the
screen?
battlefields on like 1 HP. You can actually
What?
contribute more to the fight with this new Loki playstyle.
And the 3 slows? Oh, it's the same as
For
before.
sure,
It's just not
man.
instant.
I
Okay.
am super excited for this rework, and I can't wait for the rest of the community to get their hands on the new kit, try it out, and tell us what they think. But another thing that I can't wait for the community to get their hands on is actually with this
So the
rework,
2
we are
doesn't taunt
introducing
anymore.
A new Loki recolor that
That's
is called
good.
Stealth Slayer. You guys might have seen it on the patch badge or on social media. We teased it out. But this recolor is going to be a standard recolor. You guys will be able to get it for favor or for gems or for the first week of the update.
No
so
decoy
after
effect, but it
launches,
blinds.
you'll be able to
It's
earn the
more of a
skin for
team
free
fight
after
ability
getting
now.
2
Yo,
first
he's
wins
about
of
to
the
be
day.
crazy.
So definitely
Nice.
celebrating the Loki rework with an awesome new recolor. And I love the card art, but let's go ahead and take a look at the turnaround here to get a better look at what the model is going to look like. And I love the whites and blues here. What do you guys think?
I do like the colors. It's just kind of basic though.
Swan skin. I like this one a lot.
You're waiting on
Definitely.
7.75
Gonna
pass
use
where
the
Jorm is an
rework.
assassin? What?
For sure. Yep. I was going to say the exact same thing. Going to look good while you play with the new rework. Definitely looking super awesome. Well, that wraps it up for the Loki rework, guys. Do you guys have anything in closing that you want to
I don't even know what to say.
before we close the show?
I do know that the Loki mains are going to be tilted.
Just that it was really cool thing to kind of work on where
It looks
so
like
many
he's more
polarizing opinions
mechanically,
exist about this
like
character
team
that
fight
we had
wise, you have to be good with your
really collect
mechanics.
feedback, really talk about like what we wanted to do. It's really rare that we get a chance to like explore it really that in depth, and like if you've ever seen the dev blog post be that long to explain why we're doing a change, and the iterative feedback where we got feedback from everyone. We did a second round dev stream talking about it.
I
Just
don't
this
know
whole
how
process
good
has been
Loki's
really
gonna be
cool
though,
to
right?
go
Because
through, and, I hope
he doesn't
really
have
everyone
hearts.
enjoys
I mean, you have the
Loki Rework.
blind, I guess.
Most definitely.
That blind is gonna be
absolutely.
annoying
If you have any doubts, give Loki a try. I think you'll be very happy.
because he's
For
no
sure. And
hard
I do have
CC.
one final note before we
But the
close. I
two
definitely
is
wanted to address
crazy.
Loki and the rework and how we're kind of treating Loki being banned in like ranked and competitive play. So the current idea now in the direction that we're going is once the rework launches, he will be available for play in ranked immediately, but we will be competitively banning Loki for a couple weeks from the SPL, SCC, and SOC just to give the
I know
pro
his old
players
Cripples
a
and
little
Sons. I
bit of
mean, his
time to
regular
feel
kit.
out Loki after the rework before he hops right into competitive play.
Cool.
Cool.
Wait, it
All right,
reduces
well, that
the
wraps it
enemy's
up for the
damage
show,
in the
guys.
two?
Con Clumsy, as always, thank you guys for hanging
So
out
that
with
two
me
is
for
like
about an hour
super
here and going
flex.
everything- going
That's
over everything.
crazy.
Community, thanks so much for tuning in and watching. PTS targeted for this weekend
So
on Friday.
his
be
3
sure
has
to
got to
keep
be
an eye
way
out
more
on
damage than
social
old
media.
3, right?
We'll be sure to
But it's
make
not an
announcements
auto
on
attack
everything
reset.
that goes over for that.
But his auto
So
attack
be sure
resets
to
suck right
keep
now because they
tuning in,
nerfed
and we'll
it.
see you guys on the next one.
All right, Loki might be a really fucking like higher skill jungler then. That's crazy. I'm gonna skim back into this and I want to skip to that exact. I want to see where they like actually show the abilities.
Proxy.
Here's what you're saying.
They do show the stats of the abilities, right?
Super controversial.
Being this kind of yep. So one thing that we did really early on during like trying to balance Loki was we actually removed the burst from the first basic attack. That was because he could in-hand cancel. And
Yeah, that was
burst
an early
just really-
nerf.
We start talking about the passive. I think the best way to kind of go about this is just talk about some of the new abilities and how the passive intertwines with those new abilities. So first off,
Does passive
before
change?
we hop into those, let's talk about Vanish just a little bit.
Wait, did his passive
Of
change?
course, this was all explained kind of in the blog post that we put out earlier.
Hold
in
on,
the year.
I can just pull up the
But
physical
Loki,
stats,
of
'cause that's what I
course,
wanna look at really
outdated the
bad.
stealth. But now, if Loki takes damage while he is stealth, he's now going to be revealed for a short time.
So you can see right here, I hit the Loki.
There we go.
If
There we
he
go.
stealths, he will actually go. You'll see him for a little bit, and if you hit him with any source of damage,
Hold on. Sorry. Wait. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? This is what I want. Oh, here we go. I did it. We're good. We're chilling. Okay, so where's Loki's bitch ass? Is he the first one? There we go. So they reverted his basic attack shit back to 100. They didn't touch his. Oh wait. What is the fucking now his additional interactions with agonizing visions and flurry strikes. Okay. So you just do bonus damage? You get 4 stacks to become blinded. You have to get hit by it 4 times. I guess that's not that crazy. You get benefit, so you do extra damage or it's crits from any direction. Okay, that's fucking crazy. What the fuck? Is this per stack or is this just flat? It's gonna be flat, right? So it's just minus 5% damage. So you get a 5% swing. That's interesting. So, and then this ability can crit, is what this is saying, yeah? If you 2 and then ult somebody and then 3, your 3 will crit them. You will fuck somebody up. Wait, is this AoE? Is this AoE? What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Bro, his team fight is nuts if anyone's grouped. That's crazy. I don't like watching the video because, yeah, they might explain it, but they don't explain numbers. And you need to see these numbers for you to understand how fucking serious this is. So you hit 5 times. So at max rank, you're doing 55 times 4. So was it 220? Plus scaling, and then a big final damage of 140 plus 60. This can crit on all of these. On top of this being able to crit, if you from this bullshit from passive, it's AoE. I watched him using the 3 and the ultimate in the video. All right, you're just fucking annoying. Oh, this isn't part of the 5? Oh yeah, that's dope. Hell yeah. That's crazy numbers then. Holy shit. That's actually crazy fucking numbers. Bro. So it's 75% scaling. And what? 275? 275, 75% scaling, and then 140, 60% plus you can get the crits. I can't wait to see how much AoE damage you actually are able to do. I know the cones aren't huge. The ult cone is pretty big, but the cone on the 3 is not huge. But it also slows. The final hit slows. This would be a little bit more interesting if it slowed on the initial hit, but I guess that's still good. It just allows you to chase a little bit more. Nah, I don't think you're ADCing on Loki. Maybe, but I don't think so. I think you get fucked up by hunters. They didn't do anything to Vanish, right? No? Okay. And then the ultimate is pretty much the same ultimate, except for it's a teleport, like a true teleport. That's interesting. That's AoE stun. I watched that. I did not see that was an AoE stun. What? Vanish is different. I saw that you see them. The reveal is 0.3. It's if you take damage, you're revealed for 0.33 seconds. That's kind of nice. I mean, you've seen me body kids through Invis. It doesn't matter. Loki's about to be fucking crazy. Bro, look at these numbers. Look at this scaling. On Loki late game, you're easily hitting 400 power. So this is doing like 700. And this is doing like 300. So it's like 1,000 damage. This is on the initial person, right? And then this is AoE and it stuns. So you can do 700 damage to multiple people and stun them. And the range of the cone on the ult was big. The range of the cone on this is small, but the fact that you can still crit people that are stacked, woo, this is gonna be crazy. Like, this is actually gonna be crazy. And your initial hit hits harder now. They changed it back so your first hit is 100% instead of 80. So when you open up out of Vanish, you're going to be doing more damage already. Are you still building Hydras on him? I think so. But I don't know if this counts, if this strike counts as an auto attack. Or sorry, if this strike counts as an auto attack. I'm guessing this cone doesn't count as an auto attack. So maybe not. You might not if it doesn't. But you also, it would be really good because if you won and then you auto out of it, which is how you open on somebody, that gives you Hydra's proc. Then you can 2, or I guess it's still 2. It's not Decoy anymore. It's Agonizing Visions. If you 2 and then auto again, that's just another Hydra's proc. And then after all this, it's still another Hydra's proc. Yeah. I don't think you're ulting unless this is like, I watched them. It didn't look fluid in terms of auto attacks. I don't think you're autoing after the after the ult. You're gonna want to get this damage off right away. There's too big of a pause in between this and this, I think. So optimally, you're probably, you would ult somebody and you would fuck them up and it would stun them and do your shit. And then you would probably try to get your 3 on them right away just to get the slow off. And then if they use their movement, they're still slowed. And then you're gonna throw your 2 on them because they're slowed and they just dashed away, and you're gonna open with your 1. They're gonna try to kill it. Or you get 2 into the ultimate, but I don't think you need to. You don't want them blinded if you're gonna be stunning them and slowing them. You want the blind to overlap with the slow. But you would get a little bit more damage out of 2ing and ulting. I don't think 2ing and ulting is gonna be consistent. I really don't think it's going to be consistent. 2ing and ulting also causes people to spread out. You don't want them to spread out off of your ult. You want to AoE them. You're going to open with your ultimate. You're going to hit them with the fucking 3. And then if they try to get away or if they don't have movement, you're going to fucking 2 and 1 them. And they're going to die. They're probably going to be dead off of these 2 abilities, though. This is so much damage, dude. This is 1,000 damage. And then this is this is going to be fucking crazy. The initial damage isn't that high though, right? Yeah, 'cause, like low level, like early game, he's not as potent. I don't think. I don't know. He might be fucking nuts when I play him. Yeah, if you ult 2-1, you would definitely get a stack of this. If they have movement though, or beads, you'll be dumping a lot into it, and you're gonna want your 1 for disengages or chases. Bro, this gets pretty cool. It's definitely assassin-esque. It's more ability, like stealthy, annoying ability, rather than just let me one-shot you with my auto attacks out of stealth.